How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts? When creating all of my products, I had to ensure that they were all similar in content and style. By doing so, it ensures that all of your media products look professional and well created. This will then therefore ensure more people looking at your products. This when creating my billboard and website still applied. For example, when creating my billboard in relation to my magazine, I ensured that the exact same colour scheme of blue, green and white was used. This way, people would automatically link the two products together, making it easily notable to viewers that both are made by the same people. The link between the two is obvious and because of this looks professional. Another aspect of my billboard that could be seen to relate to other products would be the main image. The main image is the same that I have used on the front cover of my magazine. This obviously clear image will ensure that Cornwall Travel is known for the surf shot that is used on two of its current products. The final aspect that clearly links my two media products of front cover and billboard together is the preview of my front cover on top of my billboard. I've decided to include this so people viewing the billboard are able to see the magazine style that they will be buying and what it actually looks like. My website, on the other hand, can be seen to be relatively different from my magazine. It does not carry the same primary logo that the other products do, and I have done this to break common conventions in the magazine industry. Something that is unique and different from others will always catch the target audience's attention. The colour scheme, however, is almost the same, sticking with the light blues throughout and even using similar images to those in my magazine. Although at first it is not apparent that the two products link, when taking a closer look at the language that is used and a few other aspects of the two. I think the combination of the same style throughout my products has worked extremely well. It is easy to work out that all of the products, one way or another, are linked and all created by the same person. This is extremely effective in the magazine industry and tends to attract a larger target audience. What have you learned from your audience feedback? Throughout the creative process, I've received a lot of feedback relating to each individual product. This ensured that I would be able to please the target audience. By giving the audience what they want, it means that they will be more likely to buy it and therefore the magazine will be successful in the long run. I learned throughout this process of conducting primary research using SurveyMonkey that people who read this genre of magazine want an ongoing colour scheme throughout, not just the magazine, but also any other products related to the brand itself. I listened to this advice and continued to use the same theme throughout all of my products. They wanted to see a formal typography style that was simple and clear to read. I listened to this and took it into consideration when creating all of my media-based products. I've also chosen to use regional identity in my favour and use traditional kernel colours when relating to my font. Theorist Andrew Higson said in 1998, "Identity is generally understood to be shared identity of naturalized inhabitants of a particular political geographic space. This can be a particular nation or region. I feel that the way I have coloured my text has followed this convention." In terms of images, my target audience said they wanted to see pictures of the local and most popular hotels surrounding the area. Not only did they want to see this, but also the vast Cornish landscape and pictures of famous Cornish beaches. I decided to give the audience what they wanted, and as it will obviously appeal to them, not only as a magazine that is bought for being in their own region, but also because it is well laid out and professionally made magazine. Regarding my layout, my SurveyMonkey and secondary research into existing products showed me my audience wanted a formal layout with nicely spread pictures across parts of my magazine, including my cover and feature article. When looking at my practical work, you can see that I have done this and followed what the target audience want. I did this through adding well-shot images that are equally spread across my page. When talking about layout, I can also discuss the mixture of text and images. When adding these two aspects to my media products, I have tried to ensure that there is an even mix. This ensures that not only does the viewer get to look at the images, but also read up about it at the same time. I also catered for what my audience asked for when relating to the colour palette. My audience wanted to see bright blues and greens, which fortunately for me also again related to the regional aspect of my magazine. I feel that when my target audience were answering my question about the colour palette, that they immediately thought of the best aspects of Cornwall, including the stereotypical sunny weather and the beaches and sea surrounding. I follow this convention not only for my magazine but also my billboard and website. How did you use media technologies in the construction, research and planning stages? Throughout the construction, research and planning stages of my A2 coursework, technology was used almost every day in one way or another, whether it was for scanning in flat plans onto my online blog or just uploading images to be used for my magazine. When taking this course, you do not realise how important the technology that you use is until it starts to go wrong. I usually would use Microsoft Word on a daily basis in media to ensure that anything I typed up would be backed up. This was a problem that would sometimes be faced when using digital technology such as Blogger or Photoshop, as they will sometimes tend to crash. I've learned throughout the course of 2 years of media studies that you cannot rely on some forms of digital technology, whilst others, including Microsoft Word, are far more reliable. Due to this, I will always type any work that I need to do onto Microsoft Word before taking it any further. Blogger, although not always reliable, would also be extremely useful as a way to show your work to anyone who would need to look at it, including teachers and people interested in media design. You are also able to monitor your blog views and how many people have viewed your work. On the website, you can scroll through page after page of work in a simple and easy to read format. This, when fully functional, was an extremely important and helpful aspect of my coursework. In short, Blogger let me reach a real worldwide audience, proving the theory of Gauntlet, who said, "New technologies have changed the relationship between audiences and producers, because now the audience has the power to become a producer through the internet." Getting feedback is very important to my whole project, and because of this, a website called SurveyMonkey was critical to my success. It allowed me to create an online survey that I would then post online onto social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter. By sharing my survey on these two social network sites, it allowed me to get a wider range of feedback by not only my target audience, but also people who are within my age range. I did the music magazine brief at AS, so I already had a number of Photoshop skills before starting my A2 practical work. For my practical work this year, when using Photoshop, I've managed to place separate layers of various different colours and text to create a professional looking magazine. This was easy and simple to use, as it gave me the freedom to easily rearrange and see product being created over a period of time. This program in some aspects was the most important, as it helped me construct my practical coursework the most. When using it, I've learned how to use different tools which have made my coursework look a lot better and also increased my experience with the program itself. During my coursework, I've used the following. I've used the crop tool during my work to help resize images and cut out any irrelevant objects placed in the background and foreground. This helped me a lot with my layout, as I was able to make all of my images the same shape and place them neatly on my page. I used the magic eraser to remove certain colours, leaving me with just the main focus of text or image layer. This proved to be useful for the fiddly, high detail jobs that I had to carry out. Two more tools that proved to be very useful are the quick selection tool and the magnetic lasso tool. These worked very well to help me select parts of images or even parts of text to move, copy, paste or even recolour. Due to this, I see it to be the most helpful tool that I've used throughout my project. The text tool, for obvious reasons, was also extremely helpful. Without this, I wouldn't have been able to include writing within my magazine unless it was previously written and then included in the form of a picture. The rectangle shape tool was used often to help create boxes for text and images on my contents page. Once I'd finished my image editing, I used InDesign to add the text to my work. This program is a useful tool when creating magazine layout and text. I learned how to create columns, change font colours, move fonts and change font sizes. One thing I found annoying was the school filtering system prevented me from downloading new fonts, meaning I had to use the ones in the program I might not otherwise have chosen. A new program I had to learn about was Dreamweaver. I had to master this in order to create my website for my auxiliary task. With near to no experience on Dreamweaver, at first I found this extremely hard to carry out. Matching the needs of a professionally made website at times seemed to be very hard, but I feel that throughout the course of learning to use the program, I have made a professionally well-constructed website. When creating my own evaluation, I used another program called iMovie. This again was in a very easy and user-friendly format. I found it very easy to import clips taken on a camera to iMovie and then stitch them together. I found it fairly easy to cut and crop the videos down to the required size and time limit, which helped with the overall editing process.